Hi, welcome to Atkins Diet Low Carb. My name is, of course, Kent Altena, and today's episode is a response to Nick's Princess recent video, Chronicles of a Fat Girl #2, and Nick's story about a less than helpful family member who was commenting not so graciously about another family member. And here was my reply to hers. And that's why I stopped trying to help in real life friends or especially family members, even when asked for support. It just ends badly. There's no easy way to say some things, and some things can only be taken in and digested by a book or anonymously on an internet website. The best thing any family member can do is just be supportive at a distance and or be a silent example. The emphasis is on silent. Weight loss is a personal work effort for which the right thing cannot always just be said. The problem most good husbands or men, which I hope there are still a few of, have is that they want to solve things. Some things just can't be solved by anyone else or even assisted. It's a bystander role or a cheerleading role, not a quarterbacking role for these men. And guys just want to have some hand in the solution. Sometimes even the best hands just need to be swatted and reminded of their place or role. And my response is basically based out of a person who indeed was supported by a very helpful and very supportive wife during my weight loss, and as someone else who has attempted to help others to lose weight as well. I ran these by one of my favorite vloggers, Nick's Princess, to get an alternative perspective to my male perspective as well. Just to make sure I wasn't covering just the male perspective, I wanted to also get a female perspective on the list that I plan on sharing. And my goal was to be as gender neutral as possible, as some roles are absolutely not gender specific in terms of how to support somebody else. The first question is, obviously, why support somebody else in their weight loss? Why get involved at all? And the obvious answer is because you love them. Because you either love your friend as a friend or you love your spouse or partner. However, there's also something in it for you as well. A friend, spouse, or partner, you get one with more energy. Or who's potentially happier, or at least one less thing that they have to worry about. Finally, you also get a friend, spouse, or partner who is healthier and may have to go to the doctor less. And finally, you also get a friend, spouse, or partner who may engage in more activities with you. For example, an amusement park is a whole lot more fun, I found out, when you're at goal weight than when you're one considerably over goal weight. So finally, how do you be supportive of your friend, spouse, or partner? First thing, support their food choice. If their food choice is low carb or their food choice is Weight Watchers, understand what that means. Ask them which food they would like to purchase when you go grocery shopping, or which foods they don't want to have purchased. What foods do they absolutely not want to see in the house? Secondly, if you share the cooking duties with them, learn how to cook within their plan. If you're cooking foods that are agreeable for the both of you, great. Understand what that means for them for cooking within their diet plan. If it's low carb, understand what eating low carb means for them. It might mean something completely different than what you think it means. So you might indeed need to educate yourself to learn what that plan is. Finally, allow them time to exercise and reasonably accommodate it into your schedule. If it takes you taking on additional responsibilities, for example, grocery shopping, doing laundry, cooking, taking care of the kids alone, do it. It may indeed reap you much more rewards later in terms of them being able to accommodate you than you ever paid in the first place. So sometimes you just have to accommodate their need to go out to the gym, to go out running, to do out this for an hour or two each day, that they have their own time that they need to accomplish their stuff. Oftentimes women may feel guilty in taking that time away, but by encouraging them to take that time or allowing them to take that time away, by freely giving of your time to them, you're indeed enabling them to not feel guilty about it. Thirdly, being interested but not intrusive to their weight loss plan. I.e., you want to let them know that you're indeed curious to see how it's going, but not so much in the fact that you're daily asking them, how much did you lose yesterday? Or how much did you lose this week? How are you doing in your diet plan? Are you eating correctly or not? At that point, you start to cross over the border from being curious to being intrusive or being nagging, which I'll hit upon later. Finally, you don't want to make weight loss the only thing that has to go into in your relationship. Sometimes that person may just want to get out of talking about weight loss and may want to talk about something completely different. Maybe she just wants to talk about going to the store. Maybe she just wants to talk about, the kids. Maybe I just want to talk about the dolphins rather than low carb. Give that person an outlet to talk or think about something other than just what's going on with their weight loss, because they may need that outlet. And third, don't routinely, like I said, ask them how the weight loss is going. How much did you lose? It gets to the point they might feel pressured or additional pressure to lose that weight, and that's something they obviously don't need. Rely upon them to tell you how it's going. Just let them know that you're always open and interested in being involved in that part of their lives. Finally, understand the emotional aspect of the weight loss. I've touched upon this in my emotional and psychological aspects of weight loss videos, but I thought I'd touch upon it here too because it bears repeating. For them, they may be additionally grouchy. I know I certainly was in the first month of doing the Atkins Diet, in which they've lost their way. They've lost a lot of the routine in their lives, and they have to redevelop new routines. Or they may be additionally sensitive or more tired because obviously they've changed up their ways and their bodies are still adjusting to it. Or they may be exceptionally happy, and you may have to be putting up with a lot of almost manic type behaviors. You know how much I lost today? You know how much I lost today? And you finally have to say, calm down, calm down. Or you might have to just enjoy their amount of energy, the newfound energy that they have in their lives. Second, from your point of view, from the spouse's or the partner's point of view, you may need to understand that you may be indeed feeling some other emotions as well. Not always such positive emotions like enjoying them losing the weight, but potentially you might be also envious. You might see that focus of the relationship shift off you to them. The focus may be turned towards them and their weight loss and seeing them succeed and not you succeed. It's the same thing that happens with any successful spouse. You might also see some feelings of loss, i.e. some of the routines that you've had are suddenly might have to be changed because of their weight loss as well. So you might indeed feel some loss or depression as well. And just understand what that indeed weight loss meant to you. Fourth, be an example. And like I said in the beginning, be a silent example. You don't want to toot your own horn during their weight loss or see, I went to the gym today. Well, did you? No. The whole point is you go to the gym, you be your example. You eat according to your plan, and maybe if they see that happening, maybe they take that own encouragement and say that, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. It's kind of the example I used with my brother when he first started the diet. If I saw him doing it, he never took it up and was bragging to me that he was doing low carb or Atkins. I just saw that he was doing it and he was succeeding at it. And it was a matter of being that silent example of knowing that he could do it and do it right that gained me as the guy who was trying to do the weight loss that much and more encouragement. So by setting the example of doing the right things, whatever that may be for you, and seeing you as an example and being you as successful, maybe that will be helpful to them as well. And finally, here's a list of ultimate do nots or ultimate don'ts. First of all, don't nag. Obviously, you should never ask them, should you really eat that? Is that really on your plan? Should you be eating that now? That's not helpful. Hopefully they know their own plan, and hopefully they know what they should or should not be eating. It's not up to you to be the diet police. Secondly, don't criticize. That example that Nick's Princess put in her video was, you're going to be 500 pounds if you keep eating like that. Well, that doesn't help their self-esteem. That just sends them into further depression and hopelessness about their own situation. Keep those sort of situations to yourself. You have to end up being really sensitive to what they may be feeling about themselves, and obviously you want to not exacerbate any of those negative self-image problems that they may be having. Third, don't lead them into temptation. Don't offer them a little piece of something that you know is not on their plan. Don't say something like, well, only one little piece is going to hurt you. No, it very well could hurt them. So don't lead them into temptation. Obviously, if you're not doing their plan and they're doing something completely different, that's not up to you to completely stop what you're doing and do what they have to do, but don't put it in front of their face. Eat it yourself. Eat it your own plan. However, make sure there's that barrier. Don't be offering them the spoon and saying, oh, this one little bite's not going to hurt you. Very well, it could be. They're trying to do a plan. Don't lead them to deviate from their plan. Finally, don't get jealous. As your spouse loses weight, they may get more attention from the opposite sex, or they may indeed get additional people saying hi to them, or other people coming up to them. Don't get jealous of that. Don't get jealous of their attention, whether it be from the same or opposite sex. Just be aware at their core they're still the same person that you married or that you got involved with earlier. Trust them. And don't feel challenged by their weight loss. The weight loss isn't about you per se. It's something personal to them. And finally, don't make fun activities weight loss activities. Sometimes time together just needs to be time together and should not necessarily be workout sessions. Sometimes taking a walk is just taking a walk. Sometimes going out biking is just going out biking. It shouldn't always be about a group workout session if you're going out to do together. You don't want to make the association, well, he's only with me so that I get my workout in. No, he wants to be with me just because he thinks I'm fun to be around. It's that whole outlet situation again. You don't want to be just seen as their trainer. You want to be seen as their friend, their spouse, or partner. And finally, remember that their success or failure ultimately is dependent upon them or is a personal thing to them. You cannot make them succeed or fail, but you can certainly set the stage for them to succeed or fail with your activities or with your help. It is up to them to carry it through to the end. So the success is theirs alone. And finally, if they do end up failing this time, it's not a mark upon you or a mark upon that you should have done something better. It's that maybe it just wasn't the time this time. Maybe it'll be the time next time, and obviously be just as supportive the next time as you were this time. And while that concludes another episode of How to Do Atkins Low Carb, I hope this reaches you well. I want to say Happy New Year's Eve, and I hope 2009 reaches and blesses every single one of you who watches this video. Thank you very much.